Well, we bring you greetings from the Greensfelder Recreational Complex in beautiful Queenie Park in West St. Louis County. We're here to celebrate the 1999 commencement ceremonies for the Rockwood School District's Lafayette High School. Rockwood, in cooperation with Charter Communications, is happy to bring this special event to you through the services of your local cable television network. My name is Jeff Arnett, and joining me for this special telecast is Tanya Shipley, a communications teacher and the Assistant Activities Director at Lafayette. Tanya, you know all about these graduates, and we look forward to you sharing some of the accomplishments and achievements of the Lafayette High School class of 1999 during this special broadcast.
You know, Jeff, it's a privilege for me to be able to be a part of this special evening, and I know that it's raining outside, but there sure is sunshine going on inside this building, whether you see it on the faces of the family members and friends, or the glow that's going on right now with the graduates who are entering this building. There are 411 this evening, and we also are very pleased to announce that we have 33 academic excellence scholars, and those are students who have earned a 4-point GPA or higher. We have 31 Bright Flight scholars, and I'm very, very pleased with this. We have over 50% of our graduates who are graduating tonight with a 3-point GPA or higher, and 9 National Merit students. So I am very pleased with all that we have to share tonight from Lafayette High School to all that are here this evening.
You know, commencement ceremonies are always memorable events. This one, I think, will probably be a little bit more memorable just because a few moments before the graduates began to file in, due to the storm that was occurring outside, we actually had a power outage. So everybody was here sitting in the dark for a few moments. But now the spotlights are back on, appropriately shining on these 411 graduates tonight, and it will be indeed a very exciting evening. We have probably close to 2,600 family, friends, other relatives who are here tonight, making for a nearly capacity crowd in this auditorium that seats probably in the neighborhood of 3,000. This will be one of 4 commencement ceremonies in the Rockwood School District this year. Of course, the other 3 high schools being Eureka High School, Marquette High School, and Rockwood Summit High School. All totaling, our 4 high schools will graduate somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,200 seniors from the 4 high schools. And of course, Tanya, as you said, there are 411 seniors who will be receiving their diplomas here tonight.
Yes, that's true. And we also are just, very happy to say that probably these students maybe have been in this building before, because it's amazing to say that over 135 students that are graduating this evening have had previous siblings graduate from Lafayette High School. And also there were 15 students tonight that told me today that their parents are past Lafayette graduates.
Not surprised to hear that, because Lafayette first opened its doors in 1960. So this is the 40th year that Lafayette High School has been in existence, and I believe this is its 38th graduating class. So we do have a number of alumni who are here having themselves been past graduates of Lafayette High School.
Also this evening, each year since 1994, Larry Schmidt, who is the principal of the senior class, when he began, each year they started a new tradition as a part of the graduating ceremonies. And last year was the first year that they did a balloon ceremony before the graduates actually enter the arena. And tonight they had a special surprise as they were congregating together. Mr. Schmidt read a poem to them about letting the balloons go and starting their future. And there among the crowd happened to be a student who was a classmate of theirs that was in a very serious auto accident, Jason Mueller. And he came from his hospital bed to be a part of that balloon release this evening. So you might see some very emotional faces, because that was a surprise and a suspense for them tonight, and that happened just before they entered the arena this evening.
And the ceremony of the balloons, I think, originated with last year's graduating class, the class of 1998, and the tradition here at Lafayette is that each year a graduating class begins a new ceremony tradition, and this year's graduating class has begun the ceremony of the candle.
Right, and that is going to be a part of the speech that's going to be presented this evening by Diane Hughes. And they selected the candle because she's going to be speaking this evening about the light and the warmth and the wisdom that the candle represents for each of these graduates. And they have chosen the group that got together to decide upon this, the class officers, that they were going to select 2 students, Tony Glover and Tara Iselhard, who will be representing the class this evening as they will light the candle as a part of the spark for their future.
And the motto for this class is, together we walk toward a new millennium, and this is, I guess you could say, the final graduating class of the 20th century for Lafayette High School. So a momentous occasion, as next year will mark the graduation of the first class of the 21st century, I suppose.
That's right, and I've heard many times this year. I think it's, we're so awesome, we're so fine, we are the class of 1999. And if you'll notice, during the evening, as they are going to be speaking from the podium, behind the podium will be a class banner, and this has become a tradition for each graduating class to design a banner which reflects the personality of their class. And as you said, Jeff, earlier, the actual created title for this is Together We Walk Toward a New Millennium. And that was designed by a group of students, and actually specifically the artwork was done by Brian Goes. And there are different parts of this banner that reflects symbolism and things that were very important to the students, all the way from the window panes, and you will see the sunshine that's coming up, the rays that will reflect the different brightness of the future. And yes, I do believe we're entering where all of the graduates are now in the arena. And Dr. Edwards, Dan Edwards, the principal of Lafayette High School, has now taken the podium.
And as we listen to the final strains of the all-familiar Pomp and Circumstance by composer Edward Elgar under the direction tonight of Phil Milligan and the Lafayette High School Band, we'll be hearing from them later on in the program. But this is a very exciting occasion, always a very proud moment when you look out across the audience and you see all of the graduates in their caps and their gowns standing proudly for what becomes the final milestone of their high school careers. And this is the principal of Lafayette High School, Dr. Daniel Edwards.
Honored guests, graduates, family, and friends, let me first say I'm glad the light is shining on this class. Please remain standing or stand as the Lafayette High School Air Force ROTC Color Guard presents the flag. The national anthem will be sung by the senior members of the choir, accompanied by the Lafayette High School Symphonic Band. Gentlemen, please remove your caps.
Well, that's the Lafayette Senior Choir under the direction of Michelle Rogers, a choir, Tanya, comprised entirely of graduating seniors in tonight's class.
Yes, that's right. And they'll be joining the rest of their class in just a moment.
And we have The colors retreating, of course, the American flag and the flag of Missouri posted on stage. The flag that is proceeding down the center aisle at this time is the Renaissance flag.
Gentlemen, replace your caps. Everyone may be seated.
Of course, Lafayette High School is a nationally recognized school of excellence for its participation in the Renaissance program. First up to speak this evening will be the class president of the 1999 senior class, Diane Hughes.
Yes, this is the speech that we've been talking about that will be a part of the new tradition of lighting the candle, the new part of the ceremony.
These are her welcoming comments.
Good evening, and welcome to the 1999 Lafayette High School graduation ceremony. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Those are the familiar words written by Watty Piper in The Little Engine That Could. Our parents read them to us when we were younger. Parents like that book. Teachers like that book. It's positive. It's motivational. And you know, we like that book. Maybe we didn't understand it in the same way, but we liked the story. Chug, 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 puff, puff, puff. The little train rumbled over the tracks. She was a happy train, and she had such a jolly load to carry. She puffed along merrily, then all of a sudden, she stopped with a jerk. She simply could not go another inch. How was that little train going to get to the other side of the mountain? Just like that train, we happily go along until we reach an obstacle in our path. We've all heard the words, if you believe it, you can achieve it. But it's how you achieve it, or how you reach that other side of the mountain, that is important. Throughout our lives, we have all been helped around the curves and bends by other people. Who are these important people? Probably the first ones that looked out for you were your parents. We'll never know exactly how many sleepless nights they spent when we were babies. They just thought those times were over. We all turned 16, and once again they are watching The Tonight Show and Saturday Night Live to stay awake. Not only do our parents sacrifice sleep for us, but waking hours too. Who taught us to catch a ball or ride a bike? Who taught us to skate? Who drove us to soccer, piano, or swimming lessons? Who gave us hugs when we skinned our knees? Or took us to the emergency room and sat for hours? They did. As our parents sometimes sat on the sidelines, other people also influenced our abilities in sportsmanship. Coaches influenced our character and our determination. We appreciate them keeping us on track and giving us team spirit. Teachers have always played an important role in our lives. One of my most valuable lessons was learned in kindergarten. I remember taking a snack to celebrate my birthday with my classmates. My mom made brownies, and as I carried the box around, handing each friend a brownie, I dropped the box. Several fell out. I started to get water in my eyes, and my teacher hugged me and told me to save my tears for a broken leg. We picked up the brownies, brushed them off, and ate them. I not only learned an old hostess trick that day, but came a step closer to what really matters in life. Throughout our lives, we have all met special people that have helped us reach our goals. When introduced to friends at the age of 3, we weren't quite sure we wanted them when our parents insisted we share toys. But over the years, we have all come a long way. We have shared clothes, shoes, lockers, secrets, and even homework with friends. Parents, you taught us well. We met in the halls of Lafayette as we were geographically united, but we will remain together through friendship. We may never see all of these friends again, but the friendships we have shared will live on in our hearts. Tonight, we add a new tradition to the graduation ceremony at Lafayette High School, the ceremony of the candle. The candle we light this evening holds many meanings for the class of 1999. The candle represents light. As we leave here to follow our dreams, it reminds us our travels will be easier if we follow the path of light that others have left for us. The candle also represents wisdom. If the candle is misused or left alone, it will soon burn itself out. We must always remember to care for ourselves and those around us, so we will always shine brightly. The candle represents warmth. It symbolizes the friendships we have made, the friendships we will keep, and the friendships yet to come. Even though we close an era as the last graduating class of the 1900s, we must always remember to keep open the door of friendship and pass on its importance. As the class of 1999 graduates tonight from Lafayette High School, we are all smiling. As someone once said, it is good to have an end to journey towards, but it is the journey that matters in the end. We have reached the other side of the mountain. We knew we could, we knew we could, we knew we could. Thank you, parents, family, teachers, and friends, for making that journey possible.
Well, Tanya, very fitting comments from Diane Hughes, the senior class president, and she was obviously very emotional. And I know that this is a very sentimental evening for all of these graduating seniors.
That's right, and she's led her class for several years as class president, and she also received the Leadership Award for the Senior Awards this year as well.
We're now going to be entertained by very appropriate music, a jubilant song performed by the Lafayette High School Choir and Band.
song. Oh, listen to our jubilant song. Oh, listen to our song. Oh, listen to the joy of our spirit of day.
A jubilant song performed by the Lafayette High School Choir and Band under the direction this evening of Michelle Rogers and Mr. Phil Milligan. You know, it's always interesting, Tanya, watching the different commencement ceremonies. Some are very whimsical, some are very nostalgic. Lafayette always has a very regal, traditional touch, I think, to its commencement program.
Yes, we do. And at this time, Ashley Gilmore is going to do a greeting to the class. Ashley is going to be attending the University of Arizona this fall. She also this year was a member of the Lafayette Escadrille, which happens to be the girls' dance and drill team. And she had a really hard time making a decision, too, as well, of which school she was going to be attending. And finally, as I said earlier, chose University of Arizona, which she knew was a far away from home place, but she was excited because she's always wanted to be a part of the Southwest environment and was pleased that she was able to attend there.
She'll enjoy going to school there in the months of December and January and February.
That's for sure. That's for sure, because I believe her parents, after this spring, made a decision to move back into the east, which I do believe is going to be cold.
I point out for our viewing audience that just behind Ashley, to her immediate left, your left as you're viewing the screen, is Dr. John Oldani, who's the superintendent of schools of Rockwood. Immediately behind
Good
Ashley
evening.
is Dr. Dan Edwards,
We,
the principal.
the graduating class of 1999, are gathered here with family and friends to celebrate a milestone in our lives, high school graduation. With the conclusion of this ceremony, we will begin an all-new journey. It is an exciting moment for us. After all, it marks the first day of the rest of our lives as adults. Being typical teenagers, that is about all we want to think about. After all, isn't this the only moment that exists? But for our parents and family, today can have several meanings. Not only do you guys share in our joy, but it can also sadden some of you. Because today, for the most part, our journey together through childhood to the gates of adulthood is complete. And believe it or not, parents, we graduates are not so self-absorbed that we don't feel just a little bit of remorse about the ending of our journey together. So, parents, graduates, join me in a reflective stroll down memory lane and the events that have preceded this day. First day of kindergarten. Graduates, can you remember waking up early that first day of kindergarten? Brand new clothes, which had been purchased months in advance, laid at the bottom of your bed. At the first sign of daylight, you jumped anxiously from your bed. You brushed your teeth and washed your face, both in record time. As soon as you heard a noise coming from your parents' bedroom, you rushed to the door and beckoned for help, combing your hair, or tying and buckling your shoes. Now, if your parents were anything like mine, you were told to put on your brand new backpack, grab your Barbie or G.I. Joe lunchbox, and go pose by the front door by a proud parent for that perfect first day of school photo. Then off you went to school with the utmost confidence. No big deal, right? Parents, is that how you remember this day? Or maybe it was just a little bit different. Perhaps your memories of this day include being awakened at the crack of dawn by a child standing at the foot of your bed with his or her shoes on the wrong feet, and his clothes misbuttoned, and some adorable self-designed hairstyle. And you probably remember just how adorable your child looked posing for that perfect first day of school photo. But you couldn't help but thinking at this moment that these brand new clothes will probably be ruined by lunchtime. You also knew that you wanted to begin a ritual. Every year, the same photograph would be taken to show the growth of your child. Finally, it was time to leave for school. During the ride or walk to school or the bus stop, both parent and child were silent. Both were trying to foresee the events of the day. Upon arrival at school, we kids looked for Mom for one more reassuring kiss and for Dad to remind us to behave. Parents, you cherished that last kiss and hoped we did remember to behave. We students remember walking into school, ready to conquer the world. You parents probably remember a lot of crying and pleading. The subsequent years of elementary school seemed to whiz by. Each year was begun with the same photo at the front door of your house. Each year was filled with new fads and behavior. The New Kids on the Block era, multicolored slap bracelets, the ritual of sleepovers, middle school. By 7th grade, we thought we knew it all. The first day of school picture, that was really lame now. Mom and Dad seemed to be growing dumber with each day we grew smarter. The girls, they were still a little bit taller than the boys, and the boys' voices crackled all the time. We spent hours walking aimlessly through the mall looking for other friends, and if Mom and Dad were there, we could not possibly be seen together. The best scenario was for Mom and Dad to drop us off and only return when summoned. Wouldn't we ever be grown enough to drive? During this time, our parents began to seriously wonder if we had been switched at birth because we couldn't possibly be the child they so anxiously wanted. 8th grade was like being high on top of the world. We rode our wave of euphoria until late August, when we suddenly realized we were soon going to be freshmen. Was there anything lower on earth than a freshman? The first day of high school arrived, and suddenly we needed our parents again. We needed you to tell us it would be okay, that this feeling too will pass, to assure us we would make new friends and would not be a total misfit of the class. The picture thing, it was still lame, but we'll take it for our parents' sake, or so we said. The seniors all wore name tags that told us they were big seniors to whom we were to revere and and we did, because after all, they were big seniors. Within a few days, we were rolling again with new friends and activities. Once again, our parents lost all their intelligence. Sophomore year was consumed with obtaining our driver's license. Parents were tolerated because they were needing for driving instruction. Junior year was consumed with activities and preparing for our very first prom. Parents nagged us about our driving and returning their car with no gas. Friends were the most important people in the world. Spend a Saturday night with Mom and Dad? Are you crazy? Senior year, stomping with the big dogs. We know it all. Seniors rule. Oh, by the way, Mom and Dad, can you help me with these college applications? What should I do about college? Where should I go? You are going to pay, aren't you? The prom. At our big night out. Why do I have to have a curfew? I'm grown. Nobody's going to hurt me because I'm grown. Graduation day. As I look back on the events in my life that have led to this day, I begin to realize the one consistent force throughout it all was my parents. I look back and I realize my life has been like a merry-go-round. Each time I would get a big head, I would come right back to the point where I needed my parents again. And always you were there to lend a hand, to provide support, or to bail me out of some fix I had gotten myself into. No matter how ungrateful I was, you were always there. Well, we made it. Today, we become adults. So, on the behalf of all the graduates of the class of 1999, to all our parents and family, and all our teachers, past and present, thanks so much for your love and support, because without it, we would never have made it. And even though we will take our first steps into adulthood at the conclusion of this ceremony, we hope you as parents, relatives, and friends will always remain an important part of our new adult lives. Because now we do truly understand that life is like a merry-go-round. And soon we will be freshmen again with the love and support of family. Only this time we'll try to remember to say thanks more often.
Well, what goes around comes around, and Ashley has very aptly encapsulated the 12 years of education that she received in the Rockwood School District into a less than 5-minute address.
It was nice to walk down memory lane with Ashley.
Dr. Dan Edwards now will introduce
Dr.
the
John
Superintendent of
O'Donnell
Schools, Dr. John
announced an
O'Donnell.
expectation annually to Rockwood students and staff. Do what makes sense, he asks. Students and staff to do the best they can, and he encourages their input for all their endeavors. Dr. O'Donnell has focused his leadership on community involvement. He has asked and received their support in passing 3 bond issues in his tenure here in Rockwood. The Lafayette class of 1999 has accepted our superintendent's challenge and share his vision for achievement. On their behalf, it is my pleasure to welcome Rockwood's Superintendent of Schools, Dr. John O'Donnell. Dr. O'Donnell.
Well, John O'Donnell is completing his 4th year as superintendent of the Rockwood School District. In fact, his son is a graduate of
Thank you,
Lafayette
Dr.
High
Edwards.
School.
I have the pleasure this evening of introducing our presenter, Jonah Houts. Let me take just a couple of minutes to tell you about some of the accomplishments of this fine young man. This year, Jonah served as first vice president of the National Junior Classical League. During his tenure, he arranged national publicity with such media giants as ABC News, New York Times, Post, and other media outlets. He also has planned the national convention held in August at Florida State University. As first vice president, he has also overseen the membership of the organization, which includes, by the way, approximately 55,000 members. Last year, 1997-98, Jonah served as vice president of the Missouri Junior Classical League. He has served on the executive board as the public relations director for Student Council. He's been in class advisory throughout high school. He attended Missouri Boys State. He has been elected to the National Latin Honor Society and received the Cum Laude Award on the National Latin Examination, and was a first place winner in the MS Foundation essay contest. In accomplishing all of these feats, he also had time to be employed at TJ Maxx. Please join me in welcoming this outstanding young man, Jonah Houts.
The Classical League that Dr. O'Donnell was referring to happens to be the organization that promotes the use of Latin language. And Jonah also received the Leadership Award as well as with Diane
The youth of
Hughes
this auditorium stand at a great advantage over previous generations. We've yet to be given a label. Previous eras were classified by blanket statements, unbelievable stereotypes. We're obviously not baby boomers, but we're too young to be a part of Generation X. So what are we? While perusing Lafayette's athletic achievement in the newspaper, I stumbled upon the Letters to the Editor page. One particular letter caught my attention with its headline, "What's Wrong with Kids Today?" It went on to comment that the youth of America are a group of malfunked outcasts. Outcasts? Malfunked. Definitely not. Perhaps our lack of a clear-cut definition is what has allowed us to be so successful, so diverse. No one has told us what we had to be, or what we were. Since we have yet to be given a label, per se, it's up to us to ensure that an appropriate label is given, a label that reflects our respectful, compassionate, and responsible natures. Every person in this room learned the lesson of respect. Some of us learned it the hard way. And whether we picked up on it quickly or suffered with a few more smacks across the face, we now understand the importance of respect. We're respectful to our parents. We're respectful to our teachers, and we're respectful to the community in which we live. Our profound respect for one another has allowed us to flourish for 4 years at Lafayette. We've never been out to get one another, and instead of being in competition with each other, we celebrated each other's successes. We applauded as Lisa Schaefer attended the Hugh O'Brien Leadership Workshop. We celebrated with Tony Glover as he became an athletic icon to the St. Louis area. And we cheered on Tim Hickson, Tony Wright, Scott Olson, and the rest of the baseball team through a phenomenal season this year. Our motivation for being supportive wasn't self-serving. We respect one another. This deep reverence for one another has allowed us to be successful in very important eyes, the eyes of our peers. These past few years have been turbulent for many of us. When someone in our class was down, undoubtedly, regardless of the cause, others were there for them. I remember my sophomore year, as I bent over to get change from the vending machine, the zipper on my book bag broke. Books and papers were scattered all over the hallway. Surprisingly, I did not stand there alone. Multiple people stopped to assist me in my struggle to get organized before my next class. And although my mishap in the hallway seems trivial, it shows that our outstanding compassion for others made our class unique. Many of us watched parents divorce. Others of us had parents pass away. Still others of us lost friends and other family members. We've been faced with many tragedies during our time in high school, both personally and nationally. We realized the need for a support group and understood that our peers would always be there for us. Another trait our generation's brand must carry is that of responsibility. By now, many of us have taken on great obligations and seen fantastic success, a result of our responsible nature. If not for us being responsible for our actions and to our commitments, our freedoms would not serve any purpose in this world, a world based on the concept of freedom and responsibility. It is difficult to quantify the concept of responsibility, and I wasn't sure if I could provide a decent example until I was reminded this weekend. As I proceeded down Illinois Interstate 24, visiting my brother in Kentucky, I found myself a little distracted. The music, a little too loud. Me singing, a little too much. Without warning, I found myself on the side of the highway with red and blue lights in my back window. And as my stomach plummeted to my feet, I understood the principle of responsibility and my responsibility for my actions. Winston Churchill challenged youth to accept responsibility when he said, "The earth is yours and fullness thereof. Enter upon your inheritance, accept your responsibilities." And although times have changed since Churchill's day, we understand, utilize, and adhere to the lessons of responsibility when we drive a car, when we go out with friends, and when we eventually move away from home, a true test of responsibility. And with all the lessons we've learned and already applied to our lives, the class of 1999 and our impending generation's label can represent nothing but our altruistic traits of respect, compassion, and responsibility. As our time in high school draws to a close, we recognize that we will spend our lifetimes as learners. The central task of education is to implant a will and facility for learning. It should not produce learned, but learning people. The society in which we live is a learning society where grandparents, parents, and children all learn together. Euripides, a Roman philosopher, said, "Whoso neglects learning in his youth loses the past and is dead for the future." After all the things we've learned, some of us believe we're ready to stand up on our own 2 feet. And while some of us run off into the future, others of us may fall over. only to get back up again. Regardless, none of our generation is done learning, nor will we be for a long time.
Well, Jonah Houts in his senior address said that their goal is not to become a learned, but a learning people, with an emphasis on the continuum of the education process.
Jonah, he plans to pursue a political career, and he'll be
At
attending
this
the
time,
University of Missouri
we want
Columbia.
to recognize selected students who have distinguished themselves academically during their high school years. Please note that members of the National Honor Society, who can be identified by the wearing of gold tassels on their caps and by the embroidered white collars around the necks of their gowns. Your program tonight recognizes several other groups of distinguished seniors. Honor cords are being worn by students who are members of department honor organizations. The departments and the corresponding color of the cords are also identified in the program. And finally, academic honor scholars, those with a 4-point GPA and above, are wearing gold medallions around their necks. At this time, I will ask Dr. O'Donnell to join me in presenting two special academic awards. First, ranking second in the class with a cumulative grade point average of 4.49, our salutatorian, Steve Miller.
Steve was selected one of 15 students to receive Outstanding Citizenship Award in the state of Missouri. He also was selected one out of 100 students to receive the Missouri 100 Scholars Program, and he's off to the University of Kansas. He has really achieved some quite distinction for this class.
Steve will be attending the University of Kansas in the fall to study architecture. This year's valedictorian, attaining a grade point average of 4.591, Christy Spofford.
Christy is planning to attend Washington and Lee University this fall. She is the recipient of several academic awards that were given to her during the senior night award night. She received the Science Award, and also she received the Math Award, and she was a very, very dedicated academic student during her all of her 4 years at Lafayette High School.
I think what's very impressive, Tanya, is that these are two students who obviously have distinguished themselves, but 33 students had grade point averages of 4.0 or higher. That's just unbelievable.
Christy will be attending Washington and Lee in Lexington, Virginia in the fall. Good evening and welcome to Lafayette High School's graduation exercise for the class of 1999. Welcome parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters, relatives and friends. On behalf of this group of Lafayette seniors, we appreciate your attendance this evening. Our school has changed and grown throughout the 4 years these seniors have attended Lafayette. As a result of their participation and leadership, Lafayette has been recognized as one of Missouri's outstanding high schools, a national model Renaissance school, and one of America's best high schools by Red Book magazine. Consistently, the state of Missouri recognizes these young men and women as members of the highest scholastic teams in our state, and they have been part of 7 championships and seeking number 8 this weekend. The class of 1999 includes 32 Bright Flight Scholars, which requires a score of 30 or more on the ACT. This number represents nearly 10% of the class. 62 are members of the National Honor Society. 9 are recognized as Merit Scholars. 95% will go on to college to attend schools across America. They have accumulated literally millions of dollars in scholarship money. And collectively, counting everyone, they have attained over a 3.0 GPA throughout their senior year. There are far too many There are far too many individual members of this class who have won local, state, and national awards for academics, sports, and other extracurricular endeavors to mention this evening. Allow me to share a favorite and annual quote from Walt Whitman, the great American poet of the 19th century. Walt Whitman wrote, "A great city is that which has the greatest men and women." And although Whitman didn't go on to say it, he implied, without question, it holds true. A great school has the greatest men and women. And they are gathered before me this evening, and they are all members of the class of 1999. Coretta Kent and Jan Stewart wrote in their book, Learning by Heart, "Celebration is the kind of food we all need in our lives. And as individual beings, all of us bring a special recipe or offering, so that together we will make a great feast. Celebration is a human need that we must not and cannot deny. It is richer and fuller when many work to celebrate together." Allow me a moment to celebrate through remembering, because seniors, after tonight, friends move, teams disperse, and high school is but a memory. Go back to August with me to the 520 Lake Retreat for the haves and the have-nots. The Fall Sports Festival gave an opportunity for all of our fall sports to be recognized. The annual senior panoramic picture, Mr. Schmidt's opportunity for us to all look in the sun at 8:45 in the morning. Homecoming, Spirit Night, and that powder puff game against the dreaded juniors, and the dance. Senior night for winter activities, the father-daughter dinner dance, the mom-son breakfast, guys and dolls, the 520 all-night in the snow retreat, the academic pep assembly, Top Gun, Prince, etc. The Renaissance National Student Leadership Camp, and prom, or Lafayette Night at the fabulous Fox. Senior Awards Night, Soccer State Final Four and Volleyball State Final Four, and Lacrosse Final Two. And tonight, graduation. In closing, it is extremely gratifying to serve as principal of Lafayette Senior High School. We have supportive parents, outstanding students, and a focused staff who have collectively established an exceptional intellectual institution. My personal congratulations to the parents, grandparents, relatives, and friends assembled here this evening. As you can tell, I share with you both the pride and the feeling of loss that go hand in hand with this evening. However, I know it's time for them to move forward to new endeavors. I want to reiterate, this class, the class of 1999, is a great class, and they have made a lasting impact on Lafayette. Seniors, Jefferson said, "One man with courage is a majority." It was echoed by Aesop. It is easy to be brave from a distance, and probably most eloquently said by Dr. King. The ultimate message of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands in times of challenge and controversy. Seniors, soon-to-be graduates, you have been a class of courage and integrity. Maintain it. Sustain it. I hope for your happiness, your success, and you have my deepest regards. Thank you.
Well, Tanya, the enthusiasm is beginning to build here, and might also mention that after the commencement ceremony tonight, the seniors will be involved in their Celebration 99.
It is my pleasure to introduce those behind me this evening. First, our Associate Superintendent, Dr. John Scatizzi. John. Mrs. Battenberg, Mary Battenberg, President of our Board of Education. Directors of our board, Mr. Banton, Steve Banton. Judy Dungan. Mrs. Fitzgerald, Beth Fitzgerald, and Mrs. Ventura, Gloria Ventura. Mrs. Battenberg, on behalf of the faculty, I attest that these students have met all the requirements for graduation as prescribed by the Rockwood Board of Education in the state of Missouri. In addition, they are a very special group of young adults. Mrs. Battenberg.
Mary Battenberg is the president of the Board of Education, also has a son who attends Lafayette High School.
As you graduate tonight, it is our hope that each and every one of you leaves the Rockwood School District with an attitude. I did say an attitude. An attitude is a sign of an independent thinker, someone who walks the edge without ever looking down, someone who knows in a world where you can be anything, knows that it's most important to know yourself first. One of your fellow graduates, Chad Kennedy, in an interview with the Post-Dispatch this last November said, and I quote, "Everyone's path is different. If you set your sights on someone you'd like to follow, you divert yourself from the path you should be taking. I ask you all to be independent thinkers." An attitude is also a sign of courage. Courage to take the rules and break them. Courage to take what's not needed and change it. Don't you dare settle for the way things have been if you feel a change is needed. You must start the change you wish to see in the world. Be courageous. An attitude is also a sign of imagination. Imagination allows you to create new possibilities for yourself and for others. Dare to dream your dreams. Follow your instincts. Have fun. Be imaginative. It is this kind of attitude and the innovation it inspires that I hope Rockwood School District has instilled in each of you. Your attitude as you view today's world will affect all of our tomorrows. Be an independent thinker. Be courageous. Be imaginative. We are depending on you to help make this world a better place in which to live because you've got an attitude. Thank you very much.
Well, before the diplomas are presented here this evening, we will take a moment.
Dr. Edwards, guests, on behalf of my fellow board members, I am thrilled to confer upon this graduating class the high school diploma as granted by the Rockwood School District and the state of Missouri.
Assisting with diplomas are juniors Damon Johnson and Angela Lewis.
Well, as the graduates are getting in place, we want to remind you that this graduation program will
Reading
be
the names of the
re-aired.
graduates this evening is our Associate Principal, Dr. Terry Harris. Dr. Harris.
You can watch the rebroadcast of this commencement program later on this evening at 11 o'clock.
Graduates
Wednesday,
will be
June the
entering the
2nd.
platform from alternating sides to receive their diplomas. Graduates with last names Ablin through Knight will enter from your left, and graduates named Knier through Zinkel will enter from your right. Because all graduates are not participating in the ceremony, occasionally two names may be called from the same side to preserve the order of rehearsal. Following the presentation of diplomas, there will be a closing, but no recessional. After the closing, you may take pictures or videos anywhere in this building or on the park grounds. Please, in order to preserve the dignity of the ceremony and to ensure that each guest may hear the name of their graduate, hold all applause until all of the graduates have been presented their diploma. Erin Michelle Ablin. Mark Conrad Knier. Carrie Ann Edelman. Lindsay Renee Kozlowski. Melanie Louise Albrecht. Jennifer Ann Kraus. Tamara Nicole Albrecht. Jacob Anthony Kreinkamp. Kiwana Chanel Alexander. Emily Lauren Kropp. Diego Fernando Amaro. Lauren Marie Kupchak. Jonathan Daniel Amendola. Heather Nicole Kurtz. Anton L. Anderson. Natasha Marie Kopchak. Katie Ann Anyon. Amanda Dawn Lafser. Kiana Michelle Armstrong. Jennifer Catherine Lamb. Brian Timothy Ashley. Brandon Philip Lauer. Douglas William Ashton. Christina Marie Lavalley. Kimberly Tanner Atkinson. Jeffrey Allen Lawrence. Alriza Ataran. Stephanie Marie Lefebvre. Ashley Summer Osterman. Allison Michelle Legrand. Andrew Louis Bukowski. John Brendan Lehman. Kinshun Beck. Jessica Ray Langer. Cassie Teresa Baker. Matthew Robert Lepore. Brent Edward Barks. Rodney Sylvester Lewis. Matthew David Bartels. Ronald Sebastian Lewis. Suzanne Ashley Battles. Carrie Lichtenberger. Catherine Marie Bauman. Valerie Venna Liddell. Jamie Lee Bausch. Gerald W. Lindenberger. Jeffrey R. Becker. James Austin Lippett. Jonathan Stephen Becker. Laura Kathleen Locke. Sasha Benjamin Becker. Carrie Emma Leffel. Adam James Beckman. Julie Marie Lassos. Ted J. Belrose. Candace Marie Love. William Aaron Benefield. Stephanie Marie Love. Allison Danielle Benz. Todd Michael Lux. Bradley J. F. Bierschaft. Tennille Louise Lyons. Jennifer Marie Berry. Elizabeth Rose Mason. David Nichols Bialis. Brian A. McGee. Stephen Barry Bingham. Addison Andrew Maley. David Patrick Bishline. Jennifer Lynn McKelly. Rowena Annette Black. Jeremy Allen Mandelberger. Tricia Allison Black. Joseph John Manenti. Michael Edward Bliss. Courtney Lena Marcano. Carrie Lisa Blumenthal. Heather Marie Markway. Kristen Claire Baver. Tyler Jordan Marsh. Julie Catherine Boggs. Samuel Allen Marshall. Sherman Bolden III. Brett Adam Martin. Rebecca Clark Bott. Christopher J. Martin. David Jason Brand. Erica Lynn Matson. Rebecca Lynn Broswell. Amanda K. Matzenbacher. Paula Diane Bray. Amber Noel McMacken. Eileen Maria Jose Brezen. Brandon Timothy McCarthy. Victoria Lynn Bright. Shannon Christine McCoy. Amy Marie Brinkman. Brian Patrick McDaniels. Angela Brocksmith. Danielle Michelle McDonald. Jason Thomas Bromberger. Gina Lee McEwen. Lindsay Page McGee. Joshua Ryan Brooks. Katie Lynn McGowan. Ray Anthony Brown. Sarah Elizabeth McGuire. Jennifer Morgan Browning. Manuel McKinney. Jessica Lee Buckley. Corey A. McMiller. Randall G. Bugnitz. Stephanie Akita Meacham. Carrie Lynn Berman. Harold Meeks. Robert Michael Bunch. Dustin Ross Mendoza. Jesse L. Callicott. Daryl Andre Menzie. Chad Christian Carlson. Jason Ray Miles. Jennifer Lynn Carter. Taryn Elizabeth Milham. Karen Lynn Schmiel. Matthew Joseph Molenhoff. Hillary Chrisley. David S. Moore. Ava Denise Clay. Erin Shanae Moore. Adam Patrick Klein. Lucy Ryan Moore. Ben Cochran. Larry William Lester Morgan. Amy Louise Cody. Lori Elizabeth Morgan. James Terry Coleman. Nigel G. Morton. Matthew T. Coleman. Shannon Richard Mruzik. James Joseph Collins. Laura Ann Mudd. Kevin Allen Combs. Stephen Howell Miller. Gus James Condos. Melissa Ann Niehaus. Erin Michelle Cooper. Sarah Lynn Nondra. Adam Tyler Craddock. Catherine Marie Nord. Tyler Christopher Kraft. Paul Matthew Oberly. Kyle Colbert Cruz. Benjamin G. O'Day. Emily Elizabeth Crosby. Elizabeth Helen O'Neill. Danielle Nicole Kubel. Christine Marie Olson. Catherine Elizabeth Cuevas. Scott Roger Olson. Thomas Joseph D'Angelo. Alicia K. Olszewski. Jessica Lynn Davenport. Christina Tamika Parker. Mary Renee Davis. Stephen Parle. Alexander J. Day. Timothy James Parson. Michael John Decker. Amberly Noel Peck. Laura Louise Delaney. Ronald Anthony Pecoraro. David Brian Denny. Anya Marie Penley. Allison Elizabeth Derrick. Kendra Lee Pennycook, Jason M. Derryberry, Adam Jeffrey Pepin, Heather Elizabeth Deutschman, Eric Andrew Pareda, Eric L. Dillard, Jr., Lakeosha Catherine Perkins, Christine Marie DeSilvio, Bobby Lauren Pernikoff, Ben M. Doring, Kristen Melissa Peterson, Molly Jane Dolan, Kimberly Jean Peterson, Julius LaRosa Dominic, Colleen Michelle Farr, Bo James Downey, Michael Daniel Piculo, Jenna Lynn Drake, Lavinia Arnett Pearson, Catherine Ann Dryden, Sarah Michelle Pilarski, Nicole Marie Duffy, Jennifer Ashley Paulus, Michelle Renee Dupree, Tracy Lynn Potta, Sarah Elizabeth Durham, Erin Elizabeth Powers, Charles Norman Etherton, Daniel Kenneth Poolman, Corey Michael Eichhorn, Elisa Nicole Pulfus, Lauren Margaret Eilers, Elizabeth Joan Putkamp, Lindsay Jane Eilers, Christy Marie Ram, Sarah Elizabeth Elder, Emily Marie Rasmussen, Joshua Wayne Emery, Michelle Diane Ray, Timothy Wayne Engelman, Joshua Michael Penrod, Jennifer Christine Ertman, Maxwell Joseph Richardson, Richard L. Ficker, Corin Riley, Sarah Marie Balandra, Julie Christine Ritchie, Stephanie Ann Finch, Sarah Beth Ritter, Jeffrey Michael Flynn, Matthew James Ritz, Candace Patrice Franklin, Byron Dwayne Robinson, Margaret Jane Friedhoff, Mark Adam S. Rogers, Andrew Brian Fermanek, Jeremy J. Rohrbach, Anna Marie Jida, Benjamin Tyson Ronk, Gregory Allen Garbo, Bradley Todd Ross, Ryan Thomas Garcia, Jonathan David Ross, Stephen Christopher Gayton, Kimberly Marie Rao, Jason Howard Gelb, Aaron K. Runyon, Frank Joseph Gervasio, Daniel Douglas Sayers, Steve James Geschke, Lisa Ann Schaefer, Tiara Miranda Gill, Stephanie Margaret Shuley, Ashley Nicole Gilmore, Sebastian Schmieding, Michael Thomas Gilson, Brooke Allison Schneider, Mark Daniel Gurgis, Melissa Moran Schneider, Emily Jane Givens, Michael Charles C., Michelle Glover, Nicole Elizabeth Seibert, Tony Angelo Glover, Melinda Ann Seymour, Brian Thomas Getz, Robert Dennis Severson, Kyla Ann Goforth, Sarah Catherine Schmeld, Aaron Seth Gold, Craig Sterling Sievers, Brett Austin Goldschmidt, Justin Hein Bo Sim, Barbara McSherry Grabner, Jamie Gerard Simon, Anthony Paul Grana, Kelly A. Sincock, Ashley Elizabeth Green, Timothy Lawrence Sin, Amy Elizabeth Grossman, David A. Smith, Kelly Diane Grubbs, Matthew Davis Amur Smith, Laura Michelle Granow, Pearl Brandy Smith, Chad Christian Hadfield, Rebecca Sue Smith, Melissa Ann Albert, Stephen Brian Smith, Sarah Lynn Hangowski, Tamika Camille Smith, Jesse Lee Harness, Amanda Jennifer Snathan. Derek Taylor Harper. Joel Christopher Snyder. Amy Michelle Harris. Shauna Denise Spear. Justin Ryan Hartman. Tyler Allen Spiegel. Jennifer Nicole Hartby. Christina Hibbs Spofford. Ni Ezia Hotch. Kristen Nicole Sprunger. Jessica Lynn Hauser. Zachariah Jacob Steger. John Christopher Hauser. Kyle Steinberg. Laura F. Hawley. Jeffrey Richard Stepp. Michelle Christine Hazen. Nathaniel Michael Stevens. Matthew Richard Hecht. Elizabeth Ann Strang. Alicia Jordan Hager. Jonathan Henry Strom. Connor Daniel Heffernan. Stephen Arthur Stump. Ariane Marie Heffling. Jessica Lynn Sturman. Reese Cameron Heidemann. Timothy Joseph Sopranowicz. Nathan William Hemgardner. Kara Brianne Zergowski. Austin L. Helfers. Brett Thomas Tainter. Kristen Nicole Henson. Allison Julie Tenerchis. Laura Ann Hessel. Amanda Christine Tauscher. Tony Frank Higgs. Lauren Ann Taylor. Timothy John Hickson. Sean Michael Tempesta. Miles Earl Hodges. Mikara Tiabak. David Edward Hoffman. Jason Gordon Thomas. Jason Ryan Hollenberg. Daniel Russell Thompson. Matthew Douglas Hollenberg. Rebecca Ann Thompson. Sarah Marie Horn. Shannon Teresa Throckmorton. Malia Janae Houston. Jacob Thomas Tippy. Jonah Christopher Houts. Catherine Lynn Trettle. Carrie Michelle Harak. Megan Marley Tubb. Dewan Dion Hudson. Camille Elizabeth Euchre. Mark Douglas Houghton. Petra Veselovic. Diane Elizabeth Hughes. Laura E. Wachter. Shamika Danielle Hughes. Julia Rebecca Waldman. Stephanie Teresa Hughes. Colleen Marie Waldron. Eric J. Holzer. Tom Ryan Wallen. Julie Maureen Hunkins. Stephen Thomas Walsh. Jessica Brooke Herney. Casey Aaron Webb. Matthew James Incorvia. Jennifer Gale Webb. Kiona Ingram. Jeffrey Vincent Weber. Tara Lynn Isselhart. Bonnie Mae Weiss. Jenny Marie Jacobson. Julian Marie Weiss. Jennifer James. Rachel Elaine Westfall. Sarah Elizabeth Jailing. Jason Franklin White. Eric Glenn Jensen. Quentin White. Elizabeth May Joler. Elizabeth Lee Whiting. Brian Dynell Johnson. Kevin Dennis Wiebenmeyer. Emily Marie Johnson. Justin Thomas Wilkinson. Nicholas D. Johnson. Anne Marie Williams. Tiffany Danielle Johnston. Latoya Cynthia Williams. Patricia Marie Jones. Tiffany Lavette Williams. Nicholas George Kajak. Catherine Ann Whittam. Ria Ann Mayuga Hadabak. Justin Hughes Winchester. Sinabas S. Cavalli. Jeffrey Scott Wingate. Meredith Lynn Keeley. Allison Ann Wohl. Robin Kirsten Kinkle. George Brandon Woods. Chad Fielding Kennedy. Anthony Wright. Ryan Patrick Kerrigan. Adam C. Wiley. Charlene Rhonda Marie Ketchum. David Matthew Young. Catherine Christine Kiefer. Jason Michael Young. Nicholas Charles Kaiser. Ashley Noel Zer. Michael David Klaus. Christine Meredith Zelli. Kristen Michelle Nackstedt. Julia Zaneski. Jacqueline Marie Knight. Thomas Anthony Zinkel. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lafayette class of 1999.
Well, that brought the crowd to its feet, and Tanya, in the time that it took out to hand out 411 diplomas, the high school careers of these graduating seniors have almost come to an end.
Yes, I think they're going to be very soon following their motto of "Together we walk toward a new millennium."
There is one remaining part of the program, and that will be the closing remarks presented by graduating senior Matthew Heck.
Yes, and Matt was the captain of the varsity football team, and he plans to attend Millikan University this fall. And Matt now is at the podium.
And you can tell that he is relishing this moment and more than happy to be the one to provide some closing to this special ceremony.
We have reached a milestone today and overcome the first major hurdle of life, high school. The second milestone and hurdle is what you want it to be. From now on, you will make your own milestones and most likely throw the next obstacle or hurdle in front of you. We have many opportunities to succeed in society today. There's a story about a fish, and he wanted to know what water was. So he went to another fish and said, "What's water?" Little fish looked at him like, "I don't know. Look at the wise fish." So, little fish swam, went to the wise fish and says, "Oh, wise fish, what is water? Everybody talks about it, but what is it?" The wise fish said, "You silly fish, water is all around you." This story relates to all of us. How? By opportunity that the world offers to us. Opportunity is all around us. It's up to each individual in this building today to take advantage of the opportunity that the world offers to us. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience by which you really stop to look fear in the face. You're able to say to yourself, 'I lived through the horror. I can take the next thing that comes along.'" Guys, the world is tough. No one ever said it'd be easy. To achieve your goals in life, you must never give up. Be a fighter. Be a contender. Be a person who perseveres. Curveballs will be thrown once in a while, but guys, hang on. The next pitch can be your opportunity to succeed. As we leave this place today and enter the adult world, we continue a journey that will last us until we stop dreaming. Dreams are what makes this world go around, and we, as all humans, have them. One person may be dreaming of being a pro athlete, another one of saving the world. Cliff from the TV show Cheers once said, "Having a dream isn't stupid, Norm. It's not having a dream that's stupid." Guys, dreams aren't stupid. They represent hope. Dreams may be different, but the common element with all dreams is that they can come true if you want them to. Do you know what your dreams are? Can you achieve them? Think about it. If you know the answers to these questions, your dreams can come true. Take the initiative. Make it happen. Guys, do you know who you are right now? Look at each one another. Do you guys know who you are right now? You're graduates of Lafayette High School, and you're proud to be one. Guys, you have benefited from the knowledge, the experience, and the influence of some of the best teachers in this world. Guys, the greatest gift has been given to us this day. Opportunity. The teachers, the staff, and our parents have all given us an opportunity to better ourselves for the journey that lies ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, let's thank them for what they have done. You can do it by several ways. Do it by applause, a hug, or a kiss, or what you do with the rest of your life. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Guys, God bless you all. I love you all.
Someone once said that true luck occurs when preparation meets opportunity, and I think that there are 411 young people here tonight who feel very lucky.
That's right, and I think nothing better than to have a nice ending with Mad Hats being their motivational spark.
Class of 1999, very shortly, you will be leaving this auditorium and entering the next phase of your life. Even as I speak, Tara and Tony are coming forward to extinguish the candle of 1999. This symbolic gesture signifies that your life as a high school student has officially come to an end and that you now join the alumni of Lafayette High School. In recent days, I suspect that there have been many thoughts running through your minds, some about the present, others about the future. Perhaps occasionally you have even wondered, can I make a difference with my life? Graduates, in our time in history exists a paradox. We have taller buildings but shorter tempers, wider freeways but narrower viewpoints. We buy more, we enjoy it less. We have learned how to make a living, but not a life. We have bigger houses, but smaller families. World peace, but domestic warfare. We've multiplied our possessions, yet we've reduced our values. We talk too much, we love too seldom, we hate too often. We have more knowledge, but less judgment. More experts, yet more problems. Great advances in medicine, but less wellness. We have learned how to add years to life, but not life to years. We've conquered outer space, but not inner space. We've cleaned up the air, but polluted the soul. We've split the atom, but not our prejudice. We have been all the way to the moon and back, but we have trouble crossing the street to meet a new neighbor. These are the days of quick trips, disposable diapers, throwaway morality, overweight bodies, and pills that do everything from cheer to quiet to kill. It is a time when there is so much in our show window, but we worry about what is left in our stockroom. Class of 1999, can you make a difference with your life? There is no doubt that you can make a major impact. The only question that you need to answer, how much of a difference do you want to make? But together, as we walk toward a new millennium, my challenge to you is to make as much of a difference as you can. But right now, graduates, we must conclude the business at hand. Will the class of 1999 please rise? Graduates, Please move your tassel from the left side of your cap to the right side. Parents and honored guests, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the graduates of the class of 1999.
Well, as the traditional hat tossing occurs here on your screen, we'd like to say congratulations to the Rockwood School District's Lafayette High School class of 1999.
Class of 1999, I do salute you. It's been a very important part, a privilege to be a part of your ceremony, and they are going to be following the ceremony going to a senior party called Celebration that's sponsored by the senior parents at the Doubletree, and they have over 80% of their class expecting to attend, and it's going to be until 5 o'clock this morning, Jeff.
They will be well exhausted, but I'm sure they'll have a great time come tomorrow morning.
That's true. As again, we've said, it's been a very special evening to be with you, and we congratulate all of those 1999 students who are now alumni of Lafayette High School and their parents, and it was a privilege to work with you tonight, Jeff Arnett.
Thanks, Tanya. I enjoyed it, as always, and while we have this time in the closing moments here, let's remind you that if you enjoyed this broadcast, you can watch it again. In fact, you can watch it following this evening's commencement ceremony on Tuesday, June the 1st at 11 o'clock. Also on Wednesday, June the 2nd at 7 p.m., Thursday, June the 3rd at 3 p.m., and Friday, June the 4th at 7 p.m. Charter Communications will air the graduations for Lafayette High School and all of the other District's 4 high schools. And if you are a cable television subscriber, you can see the graduations on Converter Cable Ready Channel 5, Channel 6, or Channel 129. And if you would like to preserve the memories of this special evening, you can do so by ordering a quality VHS copy of the 1999 Lafayette High School graduation exercise. It's available for just $25 per copy, and you can order that online at chartermo@aol.com. You see the URL there on your screen, or if you would like, you can call Charter Communications at 997-5858, extension 3962. Once again, congratulations to the 411 seniors and their families who received their graduation diplomas here tonight at Greensfelder Recreational Complex at Queenie Park in West St. Louis County, where family and friends tonight witnessed the presentation of diplomas to all of the graduating seniors from Lafayette High School. I'm Jeff Arnett. On behalf of Tanya Shipley, it's been our pleasure to bring this special event to you. Have a great evening.